Hi, Mary. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, I am from Vancouver, Canada. The Dallas I mentioned was probably in one of a particular Queen performance that I enjoy. I think I almost blew up this live chat by accident, but hopefully it's working. Hello, Margie. How are you? Hello, Michelle. Did you see when you say you saw Queen twice? Was that with Freddie or more recently? Or both? Excellent. I'm gonna have to figure out how to run this through my OBS software so we can have the um, other window in the corner.
What?
Oh, nice. One of my favorite outfits that Freddie wore was the sequined jumpsuit. Was that one of the concerts you saw? That's the one I think was in '77. Gonna come say hello?
Okay. Hello.
There's Mr. Tiber Awesome.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm looking for.
Hello, Macintosh.
Where's that tennis racket?
Tennis rackets are up here somewhere, aren't they?
Yeah, I know.
Where? Are you going outside?
Mm-mm.
Well, then you probably don't need a tennis racket.
Well, I do. I'm just going on the steps. So technically, I'm going outside.
I need just a moment to find a tennis racket for my son.
You want to know why I want a tennis racket?
Why?
Since we don't have a bat, and I kind of want to remake a Pennywise scene.
Where's that rubber
Wait.
bat that you had?
Somewhere.
I saw it somewhere. Not go hunt for that.
Well, I found a tennis racket right there.
Okay, well then you got what you need then, yeah? Sorry, I'm talking into the microphone while I'm talking to him. Sorry, it's a total amateur show here. So we're having a bit of a heat wave here on the West Coast. I feel like I'm being cooked. And I'm in the cool part of the house too, which is Didn't you just go through a heat wave, Mary, in Dallas? Weren't you guys like 100 degrees or something in the last few days? I wonder if I turned on my OBS, what would happen? Hopefully I don't blow up this chat, but I'm going to try something for the sake of science. you actually get rain down there in Texas? High 90s in Tennessee. Yeah, I don't know what we are here, but it's, as they say, it's the humidity that kills. Yeah, yellow grass. I know what you mean. Yeah, there's a few songs I haven't listened to from Queen for a long time that I look forward to listening again, but I don't want to skip ahead, of course. It's a pretty simple song, though. Like I said in the video, nothing particular amazing about it. 9 degrees in Ireland. Ouch. Isn't that warm for Ireland? I'm from Close. Well, I'm not from Close, but my dad's family is from Wales, which is not far from Ireland, correct? Oh yeah, I love Roger's voice as well. In fact, my favorite moment for Roger's voice is in the Lap of the Gods, of course, the live when he starts hitting that dog whistle. Welcome, Lovey. Are you on a long drive? Oh, I guess you can't answer that, really, can you? Yeah, probably best not to reply to that. O'Brien's or Rogers, I mean, right? Album, that is. Yeah, I'd rather you not do anything dangerous. Leave that for me. I've done plenty of stupid things in my life. Although I think I've learned my lesson finally. So I'm setting up a little bit of a game. Well, it's not a game, more of a competition, but not amongst us, amongst Queen music. For any of you sports fans, I'm setting up like a Sweet 16, songs competing against each other in brackets. And I also have food coming, so unfortunately, some of you are going to have to watch me eat. And it's really messy when I eat, so just prepare yourselves. It's just finding the right songs to match up against the right songs. I'd intended to have this done already, but I stayed up way too late. Hello, Liliana. Welcome. How many we got in here? We'll see. Maybe we'll start our little bracket game once we hit 10. It looks like we're up to 9. Yeah, they're all good, Liliana. There might be two Queen songs that I would call weak. Not that I dislike them so much, but in my list, in my rating system, I think there'll probably be two songs that end up with a one. It is really hard rate. I don't like, I mean, I really enjoy having variety, but I hate making choices.
Mom, can you please move your chair? I'm trying to do my thing. I'm not gonna go downstairs. No. Why? Oh.
Yeah, Macintosh. I often say the same thing when somebody asks me what my favorite Queen song is, and I say it's just the last one I listened to. But I think if I had to be nailed down to one, I think March of the Black Queen might be my favorite. I don't think it's Queen's best song per se. It's just so unique, and there's just so much there. Why not? It's short but sweet. So I think my food has arrived, so I'm going to quickly grab my food and then I'm going to come down here and eat in front of all of you. I'm sorry for that. I wanted to eat sooner before this got started, but we can all pretend we're sitting at lunch at a table somewhere where you would have to watch me eat anyways. Prophet Song's just such a brilliant song. Oh boy. Both versions of In Lap of the Gods your favorite. Well, that makes that decision easy. I go back and forth between that one. I think most people like the revisited port version, but I don't know. I'm not so sure. Okay, I'm going to be right back. Yeah, so that's what I gotta go. Yeah. Okay, I'm sort of back. Okay, we're up to 10. Shall we begin? Something to do while I'm eating? So I have 8 songs on each side of the list, and of course, the winner of each song goes on to compete against the next one and so forth until we come down to the final 2. Yes, the Revisited the Rainbow is absolutely brilliant. And his Larry Lyric stuff also as well. I like his Larry Lyric stuff. Going back, my favorite of the 2. wonder how much of a delay there is between the comments, like when you type it and when I get it. It's hard to determine that, I guess. I can hear my son upstairs getting very excited. He should be down here bouncing off the walls pretty soon. Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you want these gloves?
Sure.
Better, huh?
Yeah, it can get hot down. Ever since COVID, I discovered Skip the Dishes, and I think I order from there way more than I probably should. Okay, so are you ready for our game? Hit 1 if you're ready, 2 if you're not. Hello, certified. Not sure when you came in, but hello. Lindsay, hello. It's a bracket game, Levy. We'll pin 2 Queen songs against each other. All of you will vote which one you prefer. The winner will move on to the next, into the quarterfinals, then the semifinals, and I guess this would be the quarterfinals. And then finally, the 2 songs out of the group that we like the most end up head to head for the day's favorite Queen song.
I like We Will Rock You.
Okay, we have 1 vote for We Will Rock You, assuming that's one of our choices.
And I also like Bohemian Rhapsody. Forget how to say it.
You had it.
Bye.
Okay, so here we go. Category number, or the first pairing is press 1 for Love of My Life, press 2 for You Take My Breath Away. Yeah, this was going to be one of the harder ones, I think. Even for me, this one is neck and neck. Oh dear. Nope, I never make anything easy. Okay, is that it? Have we got all votes in? Well, we can only assume studio cuts for these because some of them, of course, won't have live versions. So let's just say off the studio album. Nope. No, I'm watching. So where are we? 2, 3, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 5, 3, 6, 3. It looks like, unless there's other votes coming in, it looks like Love of My Life takes that one. Last chance. 3, 2, 1. Okay, voting for that one is out. On to the next one. Second bracket has Hammer to Fall or Keep Yourself Alive. Sorry, Hammer to Fall, number 1. Keep Yourself Alive, number 2. Yes, Kai, all studio versions. Well, I think it's become pretty clear on this one. I think Keep Yourself Alive keeps going. It is good, but I'm trying not to be rude, and I feel really bad stuffing my face, especially with a hamburger, because it's not something you can eat delicately. It's kind of got to shovel it into your face. Okay, so voting is now closed for that one. Going on to our third bracket. This one I think it might be a little easier for you guys. Number 1 is Breakthrough, and number 2 is Keep Passing the Open Windows. So number 1, Breakthrough. Number 2, Keep Passing the Open Windows. Same with me, Mary. I almost always prefer 70s Queen over 80s. But, the 80s, of course, had some great songs as well. And Innuendo, one of their best songs. And, of course, that came much, much later. Okay, it looks like, hello, Barney. Welcome to the chat. Anybody who might have just joined us, we're doing a bracket game. Oh, come on, Barney. Don't go there, buddy. Don't do it. Do you want to participate, or do you just want to skip out and go do something like playing traffic? Okay, so it looks like it's Breakthrough. Makes the breakthrough onto the next. Well, we'll give them one more chance. And, sometimes kids are just really young and they don't understand what they're doing. So we'll give them a chance. Okay, we're going to go on to bracket number 4. And this one is In the Lap of the Gods, hit number 1. And number 2 is In the Lap of the Gods Revisited. Go. I have to admit, I'm a little surprised by this. I always thought the revisited version was far more popular. But I see here that, like me, I think I prefer the original. Okay, there we go. I think even if there was a couple of votes still to come in, it looks like the first version is the winner. Okay, so there we are. We have our first half of the brackets done. Love of my life, keep yourself alive, breakthrough, and in the lap of the gods, moving on to the second round. Now we're moving over to the other side of the bracket, and we're going to hit number 1 for Crazy Little Thing Called Love, or number 2 for Man on the Prowl. Yeah, I suspected that. I put these two together because they're both kind of rockabilly beats. But I mean, Crazy Little Thing Called Love is. I'm not sure what you mean there, Margie. Where did it? Okay, so I think it's pretty clear Crazy Little Thing Called Love takes that one. That was relatively expected. I really like Man on the Prowl too. But I guess Man on the Prowl's more Jerry Lee Lewis, whereas Crazy Little Thing Called Love is more Elvis. Oh, okay, I see what you mean, Margie. All the ratings are all very close together. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just slow down a little bit so that there's more chat to separate the numbers. So exactly certified. It's better at what it is. Okay, I think we have a little bit of separation there. We'll go on to our next choices. I think this one might. I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see. Press number 1 for Bicycle Race. Press number 2 for Fat Bottom Girls. I think Fat Bottom Girls has a real advantage for having such a great live performance. Well, that's just it. You can love both, right? But if you have to pick one, absolutely certified. No, I think the production of Bicycle Race is better. Fat Bottom Girls is, again, it's a real straightforward rock and roll song. It's easy to bop to. Bicycle Race has a little complexity to it. Oh, we do have a couple of votes for Bicycle Race. Okay, it wasn't a total wipeout. That's good to see. Okay, so just for something a little different to break up the scores, you're going to a concert tonight. Would you rather go to the Rainbow in 1974 or Hammersmith in 1975? If you were going to go see a concert tonight, a Queen concert, would you rather see the Rainbow in 1974 or the Hammersmith concert in 1975? It's one of those can't go wrong questions, right? Doesn't matter which one you see. Okay, here's something a little different then. Would you rather go see Queen, say at Wembley, like a massive stadium, or would you rather go back pre 1973 where they were doing like the college and bar circuits? So, you're talking about a crowd of a few hundred or in a big stadium. I like seeing those answers. Small venues for sure. Oh, there's a big arena choice because you would see the whole crowd doing. Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, they were probably far more interactive in the stadiums, of course, but it's hard to beat the intimacy of a small venue. I don't know what I would have done if I had met the band back then. I think my shyness might have caused me just to kind of stand in the background. It's hard to say. I've thought about that now. What would if I sat down to interview like Brian May, what would I ask him? And what comes into my head originally is I would just end up asking him a whole bunch about Freddie, but I don't know how much Brian would enjoy talking only about Freddie, or maybe I don't know. Well, exactly. Why not both? But unfortunately, this is not the game we're playing. You have to pick one. Oh, Margie. So, Margie, if you were the one who cut the Freddie Mercury T-shirt, it would be something you would never wash, kind of thing. I found a picture of my Vancouver concert online. And right in front of the cameraman, you have this guy with his arm up. And I'm 95% sure that it's me. And the reason for that is at that time I owned this brown leather jacket, and not a lot of people owned brown leather jackets. And I also wore this long sleeve Macintosh shirt, and that's what's in this photo. So of course it's hard to tell because it's only showing like the side of the back of my head and my shoulder and arm. But when I look at where the picture was taken from, I mean, it almost certainly had to be me. This was Vancouver at Pacific Coliseum. My second concert in '82 that I saw, I was 4 rows back, just off to the right a little bit. So Brian May was basically right in front of me. Yes, plaid. Thank you. Yeah, Macintosh. Here we go. Yes, plaid. Which was great because I got to see Brian. Of course, the downside of it is when you're that close to the stage, like when Freddie was off, because he was always off on the left, the piano. So when he was at the piano, he was almost like I was behind him. Whereas in 1980 concert, I was 22 or 20 rows back, but I was dead center. And you're back just far enough that your peripheral captures the entire stage. So there was pros and cons to both locations, but something about being that close, you know, where you just feel you can reach out and touch someone. You know, I wish I was in the front row. I wish I had a story to tell about, you know, giving Freddie a high five or something, but unfortunately I wasn't quite that lucky. But okay, so we're going on to our next pairing here. So everybody get ready. This one is, oh wait, we got Fat Bottom was the winner of that one, right? So we got two left before we go on to our semifinals or quarterfinals. We have hit number 1 for the Millionaire's Waltz, or hit number 2 for Fairy Feller's Masterstroke. It is certainly one of the more underrated, if nothing else. I really like Fairy Fellers. Was one of the first songs that really captured my attention on that Queen 2 album, or made me a real big fan of the album. Because again, it's so different from anything you hear. Just even the way Freddie sang the lyric was amazing. Yeah, it's not far off, Lovey. It's on the Queen 2 album, so it's probably, well, yeah, it should probably be in the next couple weeks, anyways. But it looks like this one clearly goes to Millionaire's Waltz, which I don't blame anyone because it's what I consider to be one of Queen's epic songs. Well, they're both very creative for sure. Okay, so our concert question in between here. Which concert would you rather have attended? Queen at Live Aid for just the Queen portion, which is probably the most iconic set ever made, or a year later, the entire Queen concert at Wembley. I'm not sure, Lovey. I think you might be talking about Seven Seas of Rye, Lily of the Valley, and My Fairy King, which I think is a trilogy talking about the land of Rye. But I mean, the Queen 2 album especially is all full of kind of those type of references, so it's hard to tell exactly which portions are part of the story of Rye. Like ogre battle, for instance, makes no mention of it, but you know, it's hard not to imagine like an ogre battle taking place anywhere else but in this kind of imaginary world. But Fairy Fellers is also part of a trilogy of songs that all blend together: ogre battle, nevermore, Fairy Fellers, masterstroke, that just go into a single sequence. Well, I think the 86 call and response is certainly longer, but I think I actually preferred the Live Aid call and response because it was a little simpler. It was a little easier for the audience to follow and maintain. Yeah, I guess it really comes down to that, right? It's just Wembley's a full concert and Live Aid's just 20 minutes. I would like to have gone to one of the concerts in South America. It would have been just insane to sit in the middle of an audience that could barely speak English, especially like back in 1981. This was still when a lot of these countries were going through a lot of political turmoil and upheaval. And to be able to sit there in a crowd of people who, you know, couldn't communicate with you otherwise, and then just hear them break into, you know, Love of My Life at the top of their voices would have been just truly inspirational. Yeah, you're right. Rio was not one of the choices. Okay, on to our final bracket of songs. Um, we hit 1 for Stone Cold Crazy, or 2 for Seven Seas of Rye. So 1 for Stone Cold Crazy, 2 for Seven Seas of Rye. This is an awfully close one. We've got no. looks like 7Cs might have came back and pulled it out here. Let's see, what do we got? 2 4 2 4 3 4 4 4 5. Any more votes for this one? Stone Cold hit 1. 7Cs Awry hit 2. Yeah, this is a tough choice because they're both good in what they do. You know, Stone Cold's a little more straightforward. Well, unless any more votes are coming in, it looks like this one's going to 7Cs Awry by a hair. Okay, that's it. All done for that bracket. Okay, so let's see. You could meet and have a lunch with 2 members of Queen. Would you rather meet? Oh, this would be too easy because whatever group Freddie's in is going to win. I know that already. That's not even a contest. Because there is no least favorite member to match Freddie with. I mean, Freddie and John versus Roger and Brian. I guess that would be the fairest. Okay, to make it fair, I'm going to do it this way. Would you rather meet Freddie and John for 1 hour over lunch, or would you rather spend an entire evening with Brian and Roger? Way to step up, Lindsay. Oh, Mary, good, yeah. I thought this would be unanimous, Freddie and John for sure, but because the thing is, if you spent the entire evening with Brian and Roger, you could talk about Freddie and John the whole time. And you get the best of both worlds. Okay, so we're back to our quarterfinals now. So we're going back to the top of the other bracket. We are now choosing between number 1 for Love of My Life or number 2 for Keep Yourself Alive. Love of My Life is number 1. Keep Yourself Alive is number 2. If we all met Freddie nowadays, we could talk about the afterlife. Get some answers to some unanswerable questions. So where are we at here? We've got 5 3 in favor of keep yourself alive. There is no meaning of life. Life has only the meaning we give it. Well, it looks like I'm a little surprised by this one. I thought all you softies would have picked love of my life. Okay, so any more votes? Love of my life, number 1. Keep yourself alive, number 2. Yeah, it looks like keep yourself alive moves on. I think that's the first one that surprised me with you guys, actually. Yeah, he truly was a unique person and personality. I mean, you can see it even when they talked to other people that knew Freddie. Just the way they spoke about him, you could tell that he was. Sometimes people who are different aren't always all that personable. I don't know if that makes sense to you. I know when people speak about people, because they might be a little bit wild or a little, but there seemed to be a lot of love in it when people would talk about Freddie in that regard, and the fact that there's only one Freddie, and they couldn't help but smile and laugh whenever they're talking about Freddie. So he wasn't different in the sense where he is just like socially unacceptable. He is just different because he was just so true to himself, and he obviously valued entertaining people very much. Okay, you just Macintosh. I thought of a question concerning that. Would you rather spend an hour listening to Freddie play the piano, singing, just you and him, or go attend an entire Queen concert? Whichever concert in history that they've done. And just to clarify, it's not like you get to sit there with Freddie and have a conversation. It's just you sitting there while he plays. So you're not having one-on-one interaction with Freddie. Hello, Granola. Welcome. Did you just get in? We've been playing a bit of a bracket game where we've been choosing between two songs with the winner moving on. Unfortunately, you have missed the first round, but we're down to the quarterfinals now anyways. Ooh, dirty and sweaty. Oh yeah, you can't. The closest thing you really got to what it was like to be at a Queen concert from the YouTube stuff would be probably the I don't know. It's hard to say because when you're there live, it's hard to explain the volume because it really does. It kind of reverberates through your entire body because Queen was a loud band. So of course, you know, what's nice about the YouTube stuff is they get to clean it up a little bit. So they take out a little bit of the volume distortion in that. The first concert I went to was just without anything in my ears. The second concert I went to, I actually put a little bit of cotton in my ears, and I found it actually increased the experience overall because it kind of self-filtered that really piercing high end. Okay, good, good. Glad you were able to catch up. Yeah. Okay, so where are we now? We're on to the bottom half of the first half. Okay, here we go. Okay, so next one up is press 1 for breakthrough, press 2 for in the lap of the gods. 1 for breakthrough, 2 for in the lap of the gods, not the revisited version. Wow. Okay, I think we have our first unanimous but that is, I mean, especially for all us old Queen fans and the fact that we love 70s Queen, I think this one kind of makes sense too. I'll do this every week. I'll try to do a new bracket game. I'll take a little more time to try to balance them as well. I tried just off the top of my head. I tried to get some good choices in here, but when it starts breaking down into the quarterfinals and the semifinals, it becomes pretty evident. I think we might actually have more kind of unanimous choices as we move towards the middle here. But there we go, Lap of the Gods. Big surprise there. Not that Breakthrough isn't a great song. It's just I'm glad you're enjoying it. I enjoy doing this kind of stuff. So like I say, we'll make this, part of the that's okay. I corrected that in my head, Margie. Although I did laugh when I saw a fart. Oh, for sure. Yeah, we'll keep doing this. I'm enjoying it. Seems you guys are enjoying it, so why not? And I'll try to invent other kind of Queen related games. Something I've always done growing up is I've always invented games using dice or cards or whatever, and sometimes I would buy board games and I didn't like the rules, so I would just kind of reinvent the game. And yeah, with great success sometimes, and a lot of my friends always enjoyed it. I invented this white one dice game that my neighbor insisted on playing. I think we played that game for almost 2 years. Oh, Liliana, it's a good idea. Favorite album art? Yeah, because I've got almost all the albums. I'd have to dig out CDs to fill the last. I think I have Innuendo and Made in Heaven, I think, are both on CD. I don't think I've got vinyl for those two. That's okay, Kai. You still have stuff to discover. Lucky you is what I say. This is why so many of us go to watch the first reaction videos from other people, is kind of to relive those moments when we first heard these songs and how special they were. So, yeah, you're quite lucky that you've got some Queen songs left to discover. Okay, moving on again. Going to the other side of the bracket. We're going to hit number 1 for Crazy Little Thing Called Love, or 2 for Fat Bottom Girls. Crazy Little Thing Called Love is 1, Fat Bottom Girls is 2. Wow. I see somebody just wants to be different. I don't know. I think I'd probably choose. I don't have me saying what I would have been picking in these, but I think from studio versions, I'd probably pick Crazy Little Thing Called Love. But I love Fat Bottom Girls live. It's such an energetic song, and Freddie just gets so into it, and I love the little breakdown. Like it almost breaks into a bit of a jam for the second half of the song. It's really great. Well, exactly, Lindsay. I mean, if you take two songs, I mean, you might get 10 people who all pick the same song, but it doesn't mean the song's that much better than the other. The difference could be minimal, right? Yes, yeah. Milton Keys is a great Fat Bottom Girl, and of course Freddie with his pole dancing always gives me a smile watching that. He was just so naturally expressive. He didn't, he wasn't doing anything out there just choreographed or trying to look cool. He just, whatever his body and was feeling at the time is exactly what he did. But I guess that one's pretty evident. That's Crazy Little Thing Called Love on that one. Yes, exactly. No filter. That's why I say Freddie, I'd be curious to see Freddie in today's day and age, because we've come a long ways as far as our acceptance of the gay and lesbian community and socially. Um, but Freddie had that no filter kind of that I think people would, yeah, it's hard to say how he would adapt to society today if you took 80s Freddie and dropped him into the middle of 2020. Yeah, I think he would. I think he'd take a lot of heat. I mean, he'd be buffered by it a little bit because he was in the gay community. And generally, socially, they can get away with saying things that, a straight person might not. But yeah, I mean, he was very touchy feely. And that's something that's the one way I think I think we really started to regress. We're becoming less likely to have contact with each other, like physical contact, and that's something I miss. I'm somebody, I like hugging my friends. I like shaking the hands of people that I've met, and these things are becoming almost shunned on, especially with the COVID pandemic, of course, has really thrown a bomb into the middle of that. But I think we need to start coming back together and just, you know, it's easier to connect with people when you have that physical contact as well. Okay, so we got our last pairing to do before we hit the semifinals. So again, we're going, yeah, that's probably it, Granola. He would probably have to live within the drag queen community because they're the last community left that doesn't hesitate to, you know, express themselves in a way that that's true to themselves. Yeah, political correctness is absolutely stifling artistic and musical creativity. I mean, I understand it. I mean, you know, there's certain language that we shouldn't be using, and people just can't be left to their own vices. I mean, there are some people out there who just kind of lack the empathy to understand why some certain words that they would use and how it would affect other people. So unfortunately, you know, political correctness is kind of swept in and told us all what we can say and not say, and it's different. Very true, Liliana. Yeah, because I don't think it mattered to Freddie, and so why should it matter to anybody else? I saw an interview with Morgan Freeman once, and he's talking to, I want to say it was Brian Williams, but I don't know, I don't remember for sure. And they were talking about race relations, and they asked him, you know, what Morgan Freeman thought about, you know, how do we get past these race issues? And Morgan Freeman's response was like, whenever you get to the point where you don't feel like calling me a black man, that is the point that we can start working on eliminating racism. Which basically saying is, you know, as long as we keep categorizing ourselves or putting ourselves into these boxes, we're never going to come to that understanding. So you got to stop looking at a black person as a black man or an Asian as whatever, and just start looking at each other as people. Okay, on to our next bracket. The final pairing before we get into the semifinals. This one is hit number 1 for the Millionaire's Waltz, number 2 for Seven Seas of Rye. 1 for the Millionaire's Waltz, 2 for Seven Seas of Rye. Well, if they're all easy, it wouldn't be much fun. But it looks like the one that, oh, hang on. Yeah, well, both good choices, but Millionaire's Waltz, it looks like, is it. That would have been my pick. Millionaire Waltz has always been one of my favorite Queen songs. It's been one of the songs I've kind of pushed on other reactors to react to, but I don't know. They never seem to choose my recommendations, so I gave up at some point even recommending songs to a lot of these guys. Instead, I have to listen to, you know, Bohemian Rhapsody for the millionth time. Not that I love Bohemian Rhapsody. It's just sometimes I suspect a lot of these reactors are all part of a single company or a single entity because they always seem to follow exactly a certain script of the songs that they're doing. Yeah, there's like six, and then they just seem to disappear after that. The odd one goes deeper. Recent guy I've liked very much is what is his name? Rad. Is it Rad something? Here, I might have to look. Rad Jarrett. Is that his name? Hap 3 was I like Hap 3. Well spoken guy. Went very deep into the catalog, and I really appreciated his live stream from Garden Lodge, of course. And watching the tree fall, I mean, that's what an epic moment that was, because how often does that happen? Yeah, well, I think Queen has launched a lot of their reaction channels because we're such a dedicated crew. But that's okay because ultimately it helps introduce new people to Queen music, and I think that's when it comes right down to it, what's important to me. So even when I see these reactors that are obviously giving fake reactions, either not being true first time listens or I guess the ones that bother me the most are the ones that give the overly expressive reactions. Yeah, I know he's got that fabulous book. But in his defense on that granola, perhaps he wants to keep his first listen as open as possible without having any ideas or preconceived notions of what he's about to listen to. Because now that I'm dabbling into a little bit into this BTS thing as well on the weekends, I'm kind of feeling that way too. Part of me wants to do some research on the song because I always come into my reactions from Queen having some knowledge about it. But for it to be a real kind of first listen and a real kind of generic grassroots reaction. Oh yeah, I know. I'm positive a lot of those reactors aren't real fans of. And plus, what's common is, and again, I love Freddie as much as anybody, but Queen was more than just Freddie Mercury, and it bothers me sometimes. They're talking about how brilliant Freddie's songwriting is when it was a Brian May song, and it's just like, well, it's nice of you to give credit to Freddie, but this is not his song. He's singing, he's brilliant, and he's all those things, but this is a John Deacon song. Mention John Deacon. Oh, Hap knows somebody who's related to Deacon. Lucky dude. I was reading. It pissed me off so much. I can't remember who the reaction channel was. Something Sushi, to Sushi. She did a reaction to Bohemian Rhapsody, which I thought was quite good. Her reaction to it. But somebody in the comments started talking about how Bohemian Rhapsody is about Freddie infecting one of his lovers with AIDS, and it's just
it was so absolutely infuriating because, well, one, the song was written long before AIDS was ever anything, and it just seems it's such an ignorant thing to say. And this is how things get around the internet, is becoming truths, is you just get some random idiot who starts spreading that word, and it only takes a couple of people to pick up on it, and then they spread the word, and so on and so forth, and before you know it, this new legend is being created that has no basis in reality. And if you took even a moment just to consider what you're saying and what you're thinking about, you would realize how ridiculous it is. But well, AIDS wasn't. Nobody knew about AIDS till 1981. So if Freddie was writing about it in 1975, I mean, he was more than human. He was apparently quite the prophet. Although there are things Freddie had written about, or the band had written about in the past, that somewhat came to fruition. But I guess if you make enough predictions, you're bound to be right on occasion. Yeah, I think if you're going to start reacting regularly to somebody, I think at the very least you can do is not be lazy, and do a little research into the band members at least. I drives me nuts when the reactors are asking us to comment on some things that they could like Google search in 2 seconds. It's like, you want to know who the members of Queen are because you plan to react to them for a while, just Google search it. Doesn't mean you have to dig into their catalog and know everything about them, but at least scrape together the basics. Yeah, you could tell John was always a very private person, and I think that's what he loves so much about Freddie. I think he is able to kind of live that kind of more extrovert life through Freddie. No, being a recluse is not particularly healthy. Okay, so we're moving on. We're down to our semifinals now. So here we go. Everybody ready? We're going to be hitting 1 for Keep Yourself Alive, or 2 for In the Lap of the Gods. Keep Yourself Alive is 1, In the Lap of the Gods is 2. Keep Yourself Alive is 1, In the Lap of the Gods is 2. Okay, it is looking like, has everybody got a vote in? Uh-oh, now it's getting close again. Okay, it's looking like In the Lap of the Gods has squeaked out a narrow victory in this one, unless anybody has a vote still. And no voting twice. Well, hang on here. Yeah, it looks like In the Lap of the Gods is the winner by a single vote. Okay, you can take 3 albums with you to a desert island, and those are the only albums you'll ever get to hear again. Which 3 Queen albums do you take? That is hard. I think I myself, the way I feel right now, I take Queen 2 because it's so different. I would take A Night at the Opera because it's so diverse. And probably it's either Jazz or News of the World. Maybe News of the World. I think I'd take those 3. Ooh, Innuendo's a good choice too. So it appears a lot of us Queen 2 and A Night at the Opera are pretty common. News of the World, sure, yeah, Sheer Heart Attack's great too. I mean, I guess this is one of those where there is no wrong answer, is there? Michelle, I won't ask you why, but Made in Heaven's an interesting choice. But I won't ask you why. Because it says, don't ask me why. Oh yeah, Kind of Magic. Sorry, I missed that one, Mac. Which is it's a great album too. Yeah, I should have said that ahead of time that greatest hits albums don't count. Oh, actually, why not? Why couldn't they count? Sure, they count greatest hits. But I just personally, I don't think Queen's best music are their greatest hits. I mean, some of them, sure. Oh, you figure you can sneak another one in, huh? Barcelona would be nice for its diversity, for sure. But I guess that's not really a Queen album, though. It's more of a Freddie Mercury. But looking over these, I would say Queen 2 and Night at the Opera are the 2 more common choices. And then from there, it's all over the map. And that's true with, asking a Queen fan to recommend an album, you're going to get 15 different choices. Okay, on to our other semi-final now. Until we get down to our final 2 songs for the evening. So we're going with hit 1 for Crazy Little Thing Called Love, or hit 2 for Millionaire's Waltz. Crazy Little Thing Called Love is 1. The Millionaire's Waltz is 2. Oh, it's another close one. Yeah, I think that one might be the nail there. So Crazy Little Thing Called Love is 1. The Millionaire's Waltz is 2. And where are we? 5-3 right now. So it doesn't look like things might change from there. So going once, going twice. Done. The Millionaire's Waltz moves on to the finals. I need just a moment, please. I'll be right back. So talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. I am back. So let me catch up here. Okay, Lindsay, we're gonna finish off in just a second here if you want to hang out for the final. So we'll do that now. We're on to our final 2 songs now. So for the winner of tonight's live chat, our choices are between number 1, In the Lap of the Gods, or number 2, The Millionaire's Waltz. So In the Lap of the Gods, number 1, The Millionaire's Waltz, number 2. Making faces for. How about a happy face? What's a happy face? What's a sad face? What's a angry face? Ooh. What's a surprised face? No, both is not an answer. Unacceptable.
What do they mean, both?
Oh, we're choosing between
The comments.
no favorite Queen song.
Hey, Dad, want to play
Michelle
Fortnite?
says hi, Tyler.
Hello.
Hello.
Do you want to play Fortnite, Dad?
Maybe we can play a little bit after. I'm almost done here, okay? I don't think these people want to watch us play Fortnite.
I do not care.
So what do we got here? 1, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 4,
Doggo,
3.
doggo, doggy.
We're sitting 4-3 in
Doggo,
favor of In the
doggy,
Lap of the Gods right now.
Doggo,
That
doggo,
makes it
doggy.
4-4.
Doggo, doggo, doggy. Doggo, doggo, doggy.
Anybody else have a vote? Oh, Lovey
Doggo,
comes in and
doggo,
breaks the
doggy.
tie, puts In the Lap of the Gods back out in
Doggo,
front.
doggy. Doggo.
So is that it? Last vote coming in 3, 2, 1. Done. And the winner of the first Queen bracket song competition is In the Lap of the Gods. Yes.
Ooh. Are you okay, Table? Table.
Yes, the dog whistle wins. And that's probably what powered that song past is Roger in that one. So I just wanted to give a little shout out to I Ate Granola, who sent me a lovely little donation and appreciation for that. And I will do exactly what you recommended. I'm going to go out and have a nice cold beer and maybe a bite to eat. And thank you very much for that. I, of course, I never plan to monetize this channel. I don't want to do that. I want, this is all about spreading the Queen music. And that's what it was about from the beginning. That's what it'll always be about. So when I do hit my 1,000 subs, I won't be monetizing at all, but I will throw down a PayPal link, or eventually I might go do a Patreon or something. If any of you want to support me anyway, that's fine. And again, it's not required. I am, I'm not struggling. I have work and I have jobs, but it's just I do appreciate it very much. So thank you, Granola, for that.
My dad's sub goal is 1,000 right now.
Yes, Tyler, thank you. My goal is to hit 1,000. Yeah, I think I will call this live stream now. And then, like I say, we'll try to do it the same time every week. I will set up one of these brackets every week, and we'll keep doing these. And, after we've gone through the entire Queen catalog, we'll also take all the finalists, and then we'll compete. We'll put those head to head as well. And eventually, by the end of this, we'll see if we can figure out our community's favorite Queen song, and we'll do the same thing with the albums and the album art and stuff like that. So again, thank you all for coming, participating in this. I had a great time as always. We'll post this one, so anybody who missed it, of course, will have a chance to join us. And in the comments, they can always throw their numbers or opinions down from our brackets. So again, bless you all. Have a great night. A good day. We got people from all over the world here, which is really nice to see, bringing us all together. Yeah, Granola, I think I will do Patreon at some point. I think I'm going to wait till I hit my goal of 1,000, and then I'll probably set up a Patreon then, and we'll just keep going from there. And even once we get through the entire Queen catalog, we've got tons of stuff, solo stuff and remixes and live performances. So we got lots of stuff to go through. So until next weekend, everybody, bless you all. Just so appreciative that you're all here and joining me for this. And we'll continue to have fun, and we'll keep coming up with new and fun ways to enjoy Queen content. So again, that's it. Thank you. Take care, everybody.